Hello, this is Willie from the Ozarks, and it's April the 14th. We're ready for Lesson 104 in A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. We're going to look at that here in a moment. Before we do, let's go back to Lesson 103 briefly. Are you getting kind of the idea now that you get to choose if you want to be in the kingdom of heaven or not? You get to choose between happiness and sadness. And you know, the voice for the belief that makes you shake in your boots can be strong. But that's why we take the 5 minutes and we take 5. Give God 5 minutes of the hour just to let Him settle things for you and to give you direction and to give you peace. Let you see how there's no need to attack anyone or anything, and that pain is not part of the program. Joy is. All right? Lesson 103, God being love is also happiness. Did you say often, God being love is also happiness? To fear Him is to be afraid of joy? What? To fear God is to be afraid of joy. You know, you can have all the reasons why you shouldn't be joyful. And I know there's things that happen in this world where we think that we need to be a little somber, and maybe we should. But that doesn't mean we have to not keep our joy. That somber joy can be a beautiful thing. That's what peace is all about, isn't it? So, now's the time. We can practice that. God being love, that was what we're supposed to go into our 5 minutes saying. And then yesterday we're supposed to bolster our expectation, that we're going to expecting joy instead of pain. That we're looking for it. It's just a choice away, a choice of happiness or a choice of judgment. Cherishing the grievance again, unforgiveness. Bolster this expectation of seeing the joy frequently throughout the day and quiet all your fears. You can certainly laugh at fear. With this assurance, kind and wholly true, God being love is also happiness. And it is happiness I seek today. I cannot fail because I seek the truth. I cannot fail because I seek the truth. So that's something it's part of you. It's innate in you. It's your heritage to have this. The truth is that, and we're going to get more into that in our next lesson. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. So that's who you are. And so keep your attention vigilant on whether or not you are joyful, or are you letting someone irritate you. Sometimes you can develop whole personalities that can go on and on and on for days and years and lifetimes. It appears like they go on and on, but we can sit down and rest. We can take 5. Take 5. What for? So you can get out of the old thought pattern that caused so much discomfort. It's causing discomfort. All right. Hey, look, this is one of those boxes that I built out of an old privacy fence board, 6 foot tall. The way I got these things, these are pretty neat. Anyway, I put yarrow. I was eating some out in a walk this afternoon, and I realized, everybody needs to have a reminder. Yarrow's out there growing good right now, and it's bitter and it's good for you. Very, very healthy. Tune you into to the Ozarks. So eat some yarrow. I went ahead and I left this weed. I don't know what it is, and there's a couple other weeds down there. We'll just kind of see what happens. I put a couple petunias in there just because I had them in bloom, and I even left this little elm tree. Thought, well, someone might want an elm tree. So anyway, I can always weed it out later. But anyway, these things are 18 inches long. The 3 long boards for fence views for friends, and this is really nice because you can take old fences, instead of going to landfill or burning them, Well, look how graceful it can return to the earth. And it uses almost the entire thing. What's left over can be some compost. The little handle on the sides that hold it from spread, and all this. This is a real thin piece of this was a cedar one. I like the cedar ones the best. They have the treated ones, but I'd line your with a piece of plastic if you use the treated, because you don't want to really expose your plants to that stuff, and you want to let the bacteria and fungus eat it out, but you don't want it in your plants. We may not want the funguses, but I don't know what else we're going to do with them. We're kind of stuck in a pickle right now with all this stuff that we've been making for the last many years that doesn't gracefully return to the earth like this thing will. Look at these little feet on the bottom that keep it from spreading. And anyway, it's a nice little deal. Just cut your 3 18-inch pieces for the front, back, and the bottom, and then use the scrap and make you 2 side pieces. And I turn the grain going up and down on the sides, and then put it all together. Use little bitty nails or screws. Anyway, I encourage people to make those things, and let's make sure you see anybody with a fence, or you need a flower box. One picket. Anyway, I was wanting to show you the yarrow today. Look at it real close. Let me just pick a piece because I'm eating it anyway. This yarrow is very, very healthy and healing just for the human body. And anyway, I just go out and when I see it, when I'm out, and I just chew it up. It's bitter, and kids a lot of times say, "Ooh, that's bitter," but yeah, it grows on you. Anyway, I think it's fun. Listen, we were looking before we read. We've been looking at the Bible in Hebrews. I want to read this chapter 11, verse 5, just briefly. By faith Enoch was taken up so that he should not see death, and he was not found because God took him. Now before he was taken, he was commended as having pleased God. Okay, here's a man of faith that God just took him out of just took him. He didn't see death. And without faith, he goes on, he says, and without faith it is impossible to please him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him. I love this. One of the things did you know the very first words that Helen Schuckman got when she got this book given to her by Jesus? She was in a sleep, a dream, and she had this dream, and she was in a cave, and on the wall it was said, God is. Now, she was an atheist at the time. Anyway, she thought, well, God is. It totally changed her. It woke her up enough to where she could hear the words and look at this wonderful gift that came through a person who didn't know what they believed. Well, I tell you what, after that dream and all this, I would think that it changed her permanently. All right. Well, listen, that's 11. I don't normally do this, but this is going to be I'll tell you what. Yeah, let's do it. I want to sing a quick song. Just love, God is love. The good news in one word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love, love, love. Love, love, God is love. The gospel in one word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love, love, love. Then I got to see that I could do it with my lesson today. So listen to this. God being love is also happiness, and it is happiness I seek to I cannot fail because I seek the truth. God being love is also happiness. God being love is also happiness. I cannot fail because I seek the truth. It is happiness I seek today. I cannot fail because I seek the truth. Okay, now let's look at lesson 103. See that? It goes right into it. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. And yesterday, I cannot fail because I seek the truth. It led us right into it. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. See, this is a journey. Today's idea continues with the thought that joy and peace are not but idle dreams. They are your right because of what you are. They come to you from God, who cannot fail to give you what he wills. Yet must there be a place made ready to receive his gifts. They are not welcomed gladly by a mind which has instead received the gifts it made where his belong as substitutes for them. Today we would remove all meaningless and self-made gifts which we have placed upon the holy altar where God's gifts belong. These are the gifts which are our own in truth. His are the gifts which we inherited before time was, and which will still be ours when time has passed into eternity. Wow, isn't that endearing? This joy unshakable. What is truthfully ours? 3. These are the gifts which are within us now, for they are timeless, and we need not wait to have them. They belong to us today. We don't have to wait to have them. They're timeless. Therefore, we will to have them now. And know in choosing them in place of what we made, we but unite our will with what God wills and recognize the same as being one. Isn't this something? You can read that until you really got it. This is so exciting that we're going to blend our wills one with God's just by choosing happiness. Wow, what is this? Is and it's timeless. It's always, you don't have to wait for something to happen. That's your difference of anyway. Just happiness is you don't have joy. You don't have to wait on it. Don't get too caught up on the difference between joy and happiness, because the Course uses them both interchangeably, as I can see it. I've heard people say that happiness is based on happenings and joy is based on an innate quality. And for some people, if that helps them, well, then they can hold that. But what I think we want to know is that the happening that is really happening that makes us happiness is God's the happening one. He made us to be happy. All right? 3, our longer practice periods today, the hourly 5 minutes given truth for your salvation, should begin with this. I seek but what belongs to me in truth, and joy and peace are my inheritance. I seek but what belongs to me in truth, and joy and peace are my inheritance. Then lay aside the conflicts of the world that offer other gifts and other goals made of illusions, witnessed to by them and sought for only in a world of dreams. All this we lay aside and seek instead that which is truly ours, as we ask to recognize what God has given us. Okay, we're going to stop every hour for 5 minutes. Say, God, what have you given me? What is my joy right now? Who am I? These are the questions that we clear a holy place within our minds before his altar, where his gifts of peace and joy are welcome, and to which we come to find what has been given us by him. We come in confidence today. We come in confidence today, aware that what belongs to us in truth is what He gives. And we would wish for nothing else, for nothing else belongs to us in truth. And the last paragraph. So do we clear the way for Him today by simply recognizing that His will is done already, and that joy and peace belong to us as His eternal gifts. Let's look at that again. So do we clear the way for Him today by simply recognizing that His will is done already, and that joy and peace belong to us as eternal gifts. We will not let ourselves lose sight of them today between the times we come to seek for them where He has laid them. This reminder will we bring to mind as often as we can. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. God's gifts of joy and peace are all I want. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. God's gifts of joy and peace are all I want. Joy and peace, my friend.